This is Philosophy versus Improv, where two sages try to teach each other a thing or two, and maybe you, the audience, get something out of it as well. Well. It's been a little while since we have spoken, Mary. What's happened to us separately? I must stress.
Uh, Separately, we have both received COVID-19 antibodies through what I'm calling the immersive experience, aka we both had COVID.
Yep. So how was your experience? People actually did get to hear when you read the people who do not pay for this got to hear you
Yeah.
read an ad while on COVID.
Yes. While on COVID, so the day before I read that ad, I was teaching an improv class with the Second City. And like the night before, like, you start to feel the tickles of your body's thinking about being sick. And I felt that. And I was like, well, maybe I'm tired because I'm producing and stage managing and performing and doing a lot of things. But as I was teaching this class, I was like, why is this so hard? Because, that brain fog is really the hardest part for me. Like, it's hard to think. Your body is like, nah, bro, we got a busy schedule of killing the virus. So then Monday morning came around and I was like doing a voice check and I was like, yeah, I'm definitely sick, but I'm definitely pushing through. Here's the thing, Mark. When people like slough it off, like, oh, it's just a cold. I don't know what colds you've had, but it is absolutely not like a cold. It took me like on day 7 of it, it finally felt like what a cold feels like. And then for like the next week after I tested negative, I still felt like exhausted and like phlegmy and other very attractive things.
So
How was it for
mine
you, my
was
friend?
was after yours, and I guess I'm
Right
still
after, like a
I
day after.
well, yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like you were well immersed. You were synced up with my wife's, which we weren't sure
Oh,
that
I'm
she had just had
glad.
COVID because she got seemed to have gotten it from her mother who had not tested, and it didn't seem like COVID. It just seemed like a bad cold or something. But then eventually my wife was like, all right, let's get some tests. And even though I wasn't
Yeah,
feeling it yet, I tested positive. And then, it didn't get actually that terrible for me, but
that's good.
it's a lot of coughing. It is a lot of fatigue. It is hard for me to distinguish between my normal sluggishness, my normal depressive sort of mode that I can slip into, that I
For
feel like
sure.
I look for excuses. If my body's just like, I'm busy with something, then I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna sit here for a while. Uh, and I did cancel, right, one with you, and I pushed a
Mm.
music interview off by a week. But there was some other stuff that I kind of went ahead and did it. I have yet to edit those. We'll see how bad
Yeah,
they came
it's
out.
really it really sucks when your body forces you into rest. And I was so mad because I had just come off of like a full blessing of a week of lots of different things. And I knew that I was like going hard. And like right after the show that I was stage managing ended, I was like, great. Now I can relax. I was like, all right, body, I know. Like now we're gonna relax. And my body was like, just like that.
I'm trying to figure out what voice Mary's body would have. I don't want to represent. Okay, this is
Oh,
the fictional Mary.
yeah.
Hey, baby, yes, queen.
Yeah.
This
I
is
feel
your
like my
body.
body has I feel like my body has different voices. I feel like there is the nerdy manager that's like, hey, hi, it's me, Erin. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but it's actually time for your period. So you're going to be in an immense amount of pain for like 3 days and then it's going to lighten up. Okay, sounds great. I feel like there's that voice. And then
So
there's
who do
also,
you hate named Aaron that you picked Aaron for that?
I don't even know. I don't see that's what's great about improvisation is it just like came out. So there's that person. And then there's also dogs barking, which is great. Cali girl. Hold please.
It's
Okay,
okay.
so so there's also this like huh, like oh, there's this like bodybuilder, like we're here to get things done, like we're so strong, like we're gonna muscle through everything. And his name's like Claude or like Chet.
Cloud.
What about you? What are your body's voices?
My body, I feel like is comfortably silent. I feel like it communicates
Hmm.
in different ways, but yeah, it's when so much of my life I feel like I have some noise going, and it's on purpose, that I have
Yeah.
the headphones on, I have some news going, often at double speed, something is going on, there's a TV, there's uh or at least the brain is spinning. I'm actively doing work. I'm having to rouse myself, but I at least once a day I feel like, oh, there's a world that is of silence, and that is I feel like
I feel
that is the
like
natural language of my body.
I feel like some of that is giving me maybe it's like a David Attenborough kind of narration. Welcome into the mind of the wild but domesticated Mark. Here we find him spinning his brain, collating data, while stimulating himself into a zone of creativity.
Definitely a lot of stimulation going on. Yep. Yep. Sure. Sure. Uh,
I've been,
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Well, the body speaks in mysterious ways. I also find myself, I'm like my own pets. That I find no matter what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing, I will just find myself standing at the refrigerator, and I will look, and it is noon. Like my body has tracked this. No matter what time I got up, no matter
Yeah.
when I ate breakfast. Oh, okay. At least one of the times that I have randomly gotten up from whatever I'm doing is clock related, which you always wonder how your dog, your cat knows that it's that time. But yet
Yeah,
your own
right?
body, I think, can do it just as well.
For sure.
So it's not speaking, it's just putting me
Mm-hmm.
in a place. It is
Putting you in front of the cheese in your pajamas to eat string cheese, to eat like shredded cheese out of the bag like a goblin.
you just find. Yes, I mean the cheese in particular, my body has long, for the most part, rejected. Not that I don't still eat
Oh,
pizza, but as a sort of an aging thing. Uh,
sure.
so yes, but as a college student, like a block of cheese and just bite off the
Right.
side of it, that was like a discovery. You could just do that. You could just
You
even
could
do that
just do
with
that.
butter.
You didn't need a ah.
I
Oh, you
didn't
go
do I
that's
didn't do that with
that's like
butter,
Everclear. That's
but
like
I've
the
seen.
difference. That's like the difference between like having an IPA. I feel like an IPA is like just taking a big old honk off the block, and
Mhm.
Everclear is taking a honk out of butter.
I remember that the first time I saw a friend of mine, yeah, it was in the college cafeteria, and he just like rips open two sugar packets and
Oh
chugs it.
no.
I'm like,
Oh
wait,
no.
that's a thing one can do? Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
I
I'll at least try that. Not that as an adult I'm gonna do that to my
uh,
body.
I had to buy because I'm trying to be a good human on planet Earth and like use less plastic and like thinking about the sea turtles and all that kind of shit. So I normally try to like buy a block and like cut portions off. Well, at this moment in my life, I am not capable of suppressing the cheese monster when the cheese monster is
Mm,
out. So I had to buy those little like pre-portioned little Tillamook like cheesy
sure.
snacks. Otherwise, I can't control the cheese monster.
And at least you can measure when you've eaten three of them that it's
Exactly. And I know like that's 80 calories per one, like I'm able to do that. Yeah. I was just babysitting a 4-year-old and we were making pizza and I normally just babysit animals, but these people are like they have a dog that I normally sit for and an adorable 4-year-old. So they asked if I could babysit, and I was like, sure, I can do that. We had so much fun. We were making pizza, and she looks up at me and she goes, Mary, I am a cheese monster. And I like had this big reaction and I went and like I hid behind a wall and then I like peeked around and I was like, guess what? I'm a cheese monster too. and like we just had like the most giggly best time. Period. End of story.
Yeah. So I mean, there's of course Cookie Monster. There's I think he became Veggie Monster. I think there's some.
That's bullshit.
I remember
It's
hearing something about that. I think that was reversed. I think
and
that's not
oh
canon.
and the language that they put on it is that cookies are his sometimes food.
Mm, mm,
I'm
mm.
like, I get it. Like we're trying to teach like portion control and positive choices, but that's Cookie Monster.
Are there other foods that one can be a monster of? Are
I think
there
one can definitely
restrictions?
no, I think one can definitely be a pasta monster.
I mean, I'm kind of a water monster. I just always have glasses of water.
I love that
It
you're a water
seems that
monster.
seems
No, it's
no.
funny.
We're all
We both
water
have the same
monsters.
we both have the same size glass too. This is the podcast glass. This is the wet your whistle.
I often have the tall glass. This is actually the medium, the snowman tumblers, which are
I love that
larger
it's
than
got
the
little
regular tumblers.
got
Tumblers.
little stumblers. I love that it's got little snowmen on it.
Yes, at some point, that is the one case of holiday wear that is a third of our glassware that I use
So
just as much as.
as we are approaching, well, this is going to come out. We're in spooky season, right? I mean, I was ready at
Yes.
the end of September. I was like, I need as much like goblin spooky ooky joy as possible. Um, so my question to you, are there any like seasonal movies that you won't watch if it's not the season for them? Or do you allow yourself to have the delightful thing whenever the heck you want it? Pondering face.
Uh, so I do have a thing with horror movies, and
Mm-hmm.
it definitely kicked in this week,
Your body
such
told
that
you.
I watch, but I do it other times a year. It's not like it's only, and I just don't like Christmas movies enough that I don't tend to initiate them myself. So yes, I only see them that time of year because that's when other people, that's when it becomes a social event, whatnot. I'm not sure what other. I mean, I will not watch Easter movies outside of Easter time for sure. I,
What
I
constitutes an Easter
no,
movie?
there are none. There are
I
no,
was going to
at
say,
least none that a human being would want to watch. Like, what am I going to
well,
watch? Either Jesus, historically or devotionally
right.
accurate Jesus movies. Well, I'm probably not gonna. I'm not the target audience for that. Or like, I remember actually we were given a DVD of the film Hop by my parents to show to my kids, and we never
That's
showed
a
it to
cute one.
them. We never. It just is a DVD
Deny
that
them the
still
adorable.
lives
Take it, deny it.
in our house somewhere, and they never saw it.
To me, an Easter movie, and I feel like it's like, traditions within your family. And in my family, it was always the Ten Commandments. The
Mm,
Ten Commandments is an Easter movie. So I find
okay.
myself, because I'm out in
Is
California
that
now
how
and my,
Moses timed it? It's like,
yep,
about a while from now,
there
around
will be a
actually a
guy.
different time of year, but the Romans will move it to
There'll be
or
a
maybe it was
pagan
Christmas.
holiday. There'll be a pagan holiday that Christianity is going to take over. So, guys, it's time to get out of Egypt. This place is a drag. But so I find myself, I watch that on Easter because it makes me feel more connected to my family. Like those traditions and those rituals have power. So to me, I think that, and also I love all the Rankin Bass movies. I know they're so cheesy, all that like stop motion
Oh yeah.
animation.
Oh, I have a deep sentimentality, nostalgia about them, but it doesn't mean I want to watch any of them now. They're really bad.
But they're like to me, they're bad. They're so bad they're good, which also lives in the genre to me of like Godzilla movies, you know.
Sure, sure. And there's a wonderful riff tracks, right? A Mystery Science Theater of Nestor the Long-Eared Christmas Donkey, which is probably the worst and most
That one's really bad.
depressing of them.
I can agree with you there. I'm not going to try to fight for the right. That one is actually bad.
Uh,
I Oh, I was just going to say I the other day I watched Something Wicked This Way Comes because I was feeling nostalgic and I saw that it was on streaming. And it's a visually spooky, beautiful movie. Like it would be great played in the background of a bar or something like that. But the movie itself was bad. I'm sorry, anyone, if I'm bashing your favorite movie. I apologize.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say it was bad as much as it was so slow. It was like really slow.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but I have a lot of affection for the story, which I
Yeah, I
listened
love
to as
Ray
an
Bradbury.
audiobook sort of as an adult after I had seen the film. And the film itself, who's the Mr. Dark? Who that actor? The
Oh, wait, I was just talking about this with a
He's
friend.
in
Hold,
Game of
please. I
Thrones.
will.
He's in a million things. Anyway, he is wonderful, wonderful.
No, I literally just was having this conversation with a friend. His name is Jonathan Price.
Yes, of course, from Brazil fame. Uh,
Yeah.
yes, it does it fulfill that spooky mood for me. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
certain brooding
Ominous.
character
Yeah.
about it, and yeah, so I have good memories of it, but I have not sat through it in a long time. And you're probably right that it does not, as a minute to minute entertainment
I'm
experience, it does not
100% right.
measure
Yeah.
up.
It does not measure up. And I found myself like, once it was over, I turned it off and I was like, out loud, I was like, well, that happened.
It could just be too true to the source material. Like I remember
Yeah,
hearing an
maybe.
interview about Coraline
Ooh, that's good. I like
by
that.
the now disgraced author who is a favorite of mine, Neil Gaiman, and that's a story that
Yeah.
we like in our house. We listened to the audiobook in the car with the kids, and they loved it. And then we saw the movie, and I was a little put off because it's not very accurate to the story. And he said, like, well, the first time the screenwriter came up with something, and maybe it was going to be live action, I don't know, but it was like very beat for beat what the book was, and it was boring as shit. And he's like, this cannot be a movie. This is not
Yeah.
the right format for that because it is sort of a child brooding on her own existence kind of
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's
I
what
feel
they were
like
too faithful to Bradbury.
I feel like I have to look at the movie and the book as two different branches of the artistic tree and not like compare them to each other because they're so different. But I find if I watch the movie before I read the book, when I read the book, I'm like I tried to read, this is years and years ago. Um, I tried to read Harry Potter and I couldn't do it because I just kept like seeing the characters and hearing their voices.
Mm.
Um, which is fine.
I mean, no, I think it it does violate. There is something wonderful
No,
that
Mary.
you should have watched. You should have read the books first. I think that is the proper order for those things. But yeah, a whole generation. Those movies were so popular that even though the books were
Yeah,
so popular, the very nature of the two arts means so many people saw the movies first. And
I definitely did it wrong.
uh, although now I have such yes, like Neil Gaiman, perhaps
Yeah, I
a
can't, I will
problematic
not.
author,
Mm-mm.
and I don't want to. I know so many people who, including my own children, who are so attached to that world that they still want
Yeah,
to watch and listen and read those
nope.
things repeatedly, but I'm fine being done with them.
I will support no one who is actively trying to hurt and alienate my friends. Here's the thing though, I'm finding that so much more lately. Like, I've been thinking, I was like, I think I need to make a list of all of the people I will no longer support in their work. And it keeps growing and growing and breaking my heart. But as consumers, we have power in like where we give our money and our subscription and all that stuff.
Yes, I mean you can still perhaps enjoy work without financially supporting it, right? That is my attitude
Hmm,
towards the entire
that's a
porn
good point.
industry, for instance. Speaking of the body speaking up, I do not want to support whatever kind of human trafficking or whatever is going into that.
No,
But
no,
yet it
no.
exists and it's easily accessible without upping your credit card for anything.
I love
So,
that. I love that you brought it to porn. That's great. That's super.
so if I
That's
can
really sweet.
enjoy, if the the films or whatnot are on the streaming services. I don't know. I don't feel bad about, but I will hesitate, even though I have put I like bought the ultimate editions of the first several volumes, first four volumes, I think, over time. So they're like $100 a piece of the Sandman comic, Neil Gaiman's sort of
Yeah, I
primary.
and I was a big Neil Gaiman fan too, and I'm so sorry. I just wanted to let you know I'm with you on the I was and now I'm
Yeah,
heartbroken. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And I'm
Sorry.
not saying I will never read them again. Like if I want to read them, I already own them. I'm not going. I don't see
True.
any reason to throw them into the sea. But I will try to avoid putting money in his pocket. So
True.
if I can get, I don't know exactly with him how far that's going to go. With Louis C.K., I've even gotten to the point where I
Mm-mm.
just have bought stuff from him from his website directly because I just think it's funny. So I that particular case I got far enough over, but we don't have to let our relationship be destroyed because of that
No,
disagreement or
I
dwell on
just
that.
I love calling out, and I'm sure you were seeing it, that I've been really into observing my body's kinesthetic response to things. Like I love that as you were talking about Louis C.K., like I head in hand and face wipe, right? And like I wasn't even trying to. I was out with a friend. So I've got this friend who's like a stunt double model ninja, and she's absolutely badass and so fantastic. She had to move back to San Diego, but she booked a gig in LA. And I specifically got a really big couch. I'm 6 feet tall and I sleep on it comfortably. So I was like, hey, I was like, whatever you need to crash, I got a place for you. So she booked a gig. So the other day she was crashing and we were hanging out and on the Aries super moon, and she's an Aries as well. So we were like empowering each other and doing all this stuff. And she had her gig, like she found out the night before that it got canceled. And my body's kinesthetic response was like thumper style, like my hand to my ear. I was like flicking my ear. And then I realized I was like, so just observing our body's natural
Yes,
response to stimulus, which
we
I
brought
find
it
really
back. Thank you.
fascinating. Yeah. Period. End of
And what
sentence.
and what is our body? Just to try to bring more of the conversation. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Right, I started talking about the sort of uh, pleasant, low key funk that I can fall into. That is sort of a relaxing state, but that can be brooding a little bit. And that is what a good horror movie will do for me. One that is
Me
like
too. Yeah.
too uproarious action horror is not really going to do that, right?
Yeah.
For pretty much pop, just the way the calendar worked out, we're actually doing the Alien series for our Halloween
Yes.
episode, but they're not good Halloween
Yes.
movies.
No, they're
You
not, but they're
know,
spooky, so
there,
they fit in that category.
there's some sneaking around. Actually, Alien 3, I just
There's
rewatched,
some
and
sneaking
that's
around.
that's the most boring one that has the most of like
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
walking down a corridor and like, whoa, there's an alien that ate me up. And that it's not a great movie as far like I like the more
Yeah.
conceptual ones or that do something interesting and pull the alien's guts out through a hole in the window, that kind of
Like you
thing.
do.
Like the,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that
but
one that bothered me, like the alien, like her alien child, like
yes,
when at that, I don't know, like that mofo is like evil, bad, wrong. Like all the genetic makeup is made to not be a nice guy. But I feel so bad because he's just like,
let me
and then
lick your
like
face, mommy.
let me mommy love you. Oh, you're not my mommy. I won't eat you. But I feel bad. Like the sound that he makes when he's like, mommy, no. Like it's just so, I don't know. It's sad to me.
All right, so we've now been conversing here for a while. We've gotten at an interesting philosophical point of how our bodies
Yeah.
talk to us. Now, before we just
Yeah.
do an improv scene, what is
Yeah.
a because let's workshop what would make because I don't want to just be like I'm the voice of Mary's body telling you stuff. Like that was my initial idea,
Yeah.
but I resisted that and we discussed it instead of instead of just doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So what is
I
your
am
idea for a
in my family. I don't know if this is my idea, but I'm following these breadcrumbs through the forest. In my family, we always had a running joke that there's like little people in your body, like very much like a la Inside Out kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
So we always we had that joke like way before Pixar made a movie about it.
Woody Allen's
So I
Everything You Ever Want to Know About Sex, where the sperms.
I haven't seen that one. But you
And
say
probably
Woody
you won't
Allen,
now.
and yeah, I know, but here's the thing. You say Woody Allen, and I immediately shut down. I'm like, I think I'm good.
So I had that whole exposure before there was any sort of
Yeah.
ickiness associated with that. Besides that, he just put out enough mediocre movies that I just like they just stopped being rewarding to finish the whole thing. But I had a long relationship with that, including the first one, which does have a sorry, the Everything You Ever Want to Know About Sex is not his first movie, but it's among those actually funny movies in his early career. Which I'd still say you should see Bananas. That is just a thing that I think for cultural purposes.
Yeah.
Maybe wait till he's dead, and then you're not helping him out if
I
you
mean,
impact it more immorally.
I'm
But
I'm very into film study. Like, I took some film studies classes in college. And I did half a year studying abroad in Ireland and at University College Cork. And I thought it would be really fascinating to take a history of American film class from a European perspective. And it was very fascinating. So, like, I'm totally into film study. I was just watching Legend last night because I was like, okay, I want sexy Tim Curry. I want like magical, mystical, a little bit dark, right? So I feel like Halloween, it's got like ingredients to it. And I
mm-hmm.
had forgotten that Legend is a Ridley Scott film. So I was
Oh, I
reflecting as I
forgot
was,
that too. Okay,
you're welcome. So as I was watching it, I was thinking, I would love to take a Ridley Scott film course because the way, like the repeating themes that he works with and the visuals and the imagery, it's adjacent to Guillermo del Toro's style to me, to how he uses color to
sure.
indicate mood and intention and all that stuff. I realize we are
That devil
totally,
guy, that's a very Guillermo del Toro sort of design, if I
yeah. I
recall.
realized
That
that we
devil.
went totally far from the what should we improvise about to now I'm like Guillermo del Toro
We're
and
gonna
Ridley
go with what's
Scott's
natural. This
repeating
is we're
themes.
having a discussion about film. That's fine.
I am very excited. So on Halloween will mark my 3-year LA versary. And
Mm.
I saw that there is a IMAX screening of Frankenstein at a TCL Chinese theater with a talk back by Guillermo del Toro. So I got a ticket, and that's going to be my cute little Halloween LA versary date for myself. I'm very excited.
Very nice. So does Guillermo del Toro have a parts of the inside of a human body talking to each other film? Because
I'm sure.
just
Oh,
to take
oh!
us
I
back.
thought it was so funny. I was immediately ready to jump on. Does Guillermo del Toro have like an inner conference room of things in his body telling him what
Oh,
to do? And I was about to be like, yeah, he obviously does.
so I would like to see in like Inside Out 3 or 5 or whatever a nod to this segment in Everything You Ever Want to Know About Sex where in Riley's body in the Inside Out franchise the individual eggs something with puberty such that the individual eggs have
Oh
consciousness
yeah,
and are taught. So
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
the Woody Allen thing is that that he's a sperm among a bunch of other sperms that are
He
dressed up
would make himself a
that
sperm.
and they're worried about what they're going to see out in the world. But then there's other people sort of looking
Yeah.
through the person's eyes and sort of doing the more traditional inside out stuff. So it's
Speaking Speaking of kinesthetics, anyone who's not watching this, I've got my head in my hand, my eyebrows furrowed, and I'm just like shaking my head. Like I'm just like, mm-mm, mm-mm. But that's great. I love that for him and for you.
well, as an improv tip in our first discussion with you as co-host, you said uh, go where you feel least comfortable. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I interpret that immediately, uh, that to the realm of, I think that's what made me initiate in our last episode the guy interviewing a couple about their porn thing or whatever, because that
Mm,
is something that I am uncomfortable talking about, much less
yeah.
improvising around. So, and I think there was something in that episode where you said
I,
that, where I
I
immediately did
I
something
feel
like that
like,
too, which I
and
think I
Mark,
feel like I'm interpreting that advice wrong. Is what?
no, no. And we're on the same page and I love it. I wouldn't say that you're interpreting it wrong. I will clarify that more of what I meant is don't shy away from the things that feel like terra incognita. Like maybe don't actively be like, man, I'm gonna be like Republican and like transphobic in this scene, right? Like, and I don't want to, I don't want to do that. But so I don't mean like actively seek out discomfort. I think what I mean more of is don't shy away from what shows up for you.
All right, Mary, this is your body speaking.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Don't worry. I'm not going to say anything Republican or transphobic, because despite all the unconscious things that are lurking down here, those are not among them.
Well, I really appreciate that, buddy. That's very nice of you. Maybe you could, hey, buddy,
Yes.
what, yeah, what if I'm just gonna propose something here. What if we could just let that out as a fart? Because I don't want to hold you back, right? I also don't want to hold that in. So like maybe
D-
what if we could just fart?
I mean, that would work to get out a lot of random things. And the great thing about it is that you or I don't actually even have to understand them. It's just the undesired, a movement of abjection, if you will, where all
Wow.
the badness is expelled. But you got to be a little careful, just to warn you, because if you think that you can trust a fart to be just a fart,
That's a
I can't guarantee that.
I complete body. I'm so sorry to ask because I feel like I should know this, but which part of me is talking right now?
Well, have you ever heard of a thing called a soul? So,
Yeah, yeah.
you've probably been misled a lot by the Christians to think that this is some sort of immortal spirit that enters into the body. No, actually, per Aristotle, the soul is just the organizing form of the body that makes it a body, and that makes it a living body and do the things that bodies do. So it has much more. I have much more intelligence than is just in
Yeah.
your little conscious mind. But I do. It is mostly kind of like routine stuff that I take care of.
Hey, Mary's brain here. Hey, soul. Could you
Uh,
just like chill the fuck out for a second? You're kind of overwhelming Mary. She's breaking out in a sweat and you know
mm-hmm,
we
mm-hmm,
we just put on
mm-hmm.
we just put on a fresh shirt. And she's got an audition. So if you could just maybe like instead of like just tone it down a little bit. Okay?
All right.
Thanks.
Well, enter a sort of stasis. Just let the things hold in the farts. Hold in. Just kind of let things be the way they are. Does
You
that
know
work for
what,
you?
soul? So it makes a lot of sense why my dreams have been so crazy because you have been in overtime. I'm amazed at how many things you know. It actually kind of scares me how much you know, soul.
I mean, I know basic sort of patterns, but like some of that stuff you eat, I don't know what the hell
Yeah,
to do with some of that.
I
So
know. I'm
I just
sorry.
I just say pass it on to the next station. Get it out of here. Some of it I can deal with, but you've
Well,
really been challenging me of late with the it being
I
Halloween and
know.
all.
I'm sorry. I know that I should not have had that handful of watermelon Sour Patch Kids at
Mm-hmm.
midnight,
Mm-hmm.
but I, you know, stomach made me get out of bed. Yeah, that was really good candy late at night. I really liked that.
Yeah, yeah. This is, stomach. You should just be one with body.
Pickles.
You can't just do your own thing. Uh,
I, I, I can do whatever.
this is
Cheeseburger.
an internal breakdown. If there's too much deviation between what the individual parts of the body want and what the overall body wants, you actually get to death. So let's not go that direction. Brain, can you back me up here?
Oh, hey, I'm so sorry. I was writing a sketch in Mary's head. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, I do think it's important that if your body is craving something specific, it probably needs nutrients in there. Chocolate.
Yeah, the body as a whole doesn't need chocolate. I think a carrot might serve that just as well. Uh,
Hey guys, can I just call us back in for a second? I'm about to, I'm sitting in the green room and a lot of people are looking at me. I mean, because I'm not talking out loud, but can we all just pull it together? Because I'd really love to book this commercial.
I don't agree. I'm the nose that has to drip, and I don't think that this commercial is right for us right now.
Oh God, I don't
Oh,
have a tissue.
she's dead.
And scene.
End scene. Oh, that's
Why
really.
is my stomach such a goblin? I don't know.
I mean, it is a food monster, you might say.
It is a food great reincorporation of the food monster. That
But
was
is
really that was, that was so intense.
and this is bringing to mind all sorts of other things in terms of traditional ways, like why do we consider love to be in the heart? Is hunger
Mm-hmm.
even really in the stomach? I mean, yes, there's
Yeah.
some gurgling there, but is the desire
Yeah.
for chocolate specifically? I don't know that the stomach is smart enough to know.
Mm,
Chocolate is like chocoholic. I'm there's something in my brain that is
well, maybe, I mean, they do talk a lot about probiotic and prebiotic and your gut
mm,
biome and stuff.
yep. Definitely some other minds within us. Nietzsche talked about the wisdom of the body being so much smarter than you gotta listen to your body. That it's and just praised in particular the nose as being something that is so well designed. We could
Really?
not possibly have come up with something. Probably his nose did not ever cost him an audition and then kill him.
Wow. So Nietzsche had a nose fetish. We had to bring
it's
back in
it's
the porn
one it's
element.
one passage, but I would want to see his browser history and see if there is a nasal category.
That's so wild.
Please don't look up whether there's a nasal category in your.
I don't I don't want that on my feed. I don't want that.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it letting it end here. And if anyone listening wants to look up Nietzsche nose fetish and let us know what you find, do that work for us and for you. That'd be swell.
All right. Well, as much as this whole
Feels
thing has seemed like a bonus episode, uh,
yeah, yeah.
in that we didn't
But
do a lot of improv, but we're gonna save a little more of our chatting for behind the paywall for real this time. That it's really gonna be. So we should wrap up. But then if you go to patreon.com/, philosophy improv, then you'll hear a little more. A little more. We'll see how much we can stand of each other.
please do support us. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.
I should sell my soul. Bankrupt. Bankrupt.